Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Chinese state media Xinhua reported that on the eve of the Chinese New Year, the Xi Jinping administration visited retired elders, including former Hu Jintao, Zhu Rongji, Li Ruihuan, Wen Jiabao, Jia Qinglin, Zhang Dejiang, Yu Zhengsheng, Li Jianshu, and Wang Yan. This year's visit list includes 125 individuals, among whom former Politburo Standing Committee member Song Ping is already 108 years old, Hu Jintao is 83, and former Premier Zhu Rongji is 97. Compared to last year, 5 elders are missing from this year's list, all of whom passed away in 2025. Zhang Youxiao was just purged last month. Rumors in public circles suggest that Zhang Youxiao had the support of CCP elders, which was unfavorable to Xi Jinping's bid for re-election at next year's 21st Party Congress, prompting Xi to ruthlessly carry out a purge to clear obstacles. This routine pre-holiday visit by the Xi Jinping administration actually conceals murderous intent behind the scenes. The political darkness within the CCP is profound, like a black box, and the true situation inside is difficult for the outside world to determine with certainty. However, the long-standing rumors of a reconcilable hostility between Xi Jinping and CCP elders are not new. Although the outcome always seems to be Xi Jinping holding absolute power, the recent violent shaking of this layer of darkness in the CCP inevitably leads one to speculate that the degree of internal chaos and the intensity of the infighting within the CCP are unprecedented. While the CCP is internally turbulent and unstable, significant changes have occurred on the external front. Japan stands firm, detains illegal Chinese fishing vessel, chief cabinet secretary, resolutely crack down and deter. First, Japan. Due to Sanai Takaichi's landslide victory, Japan is no longer as tolerant toward the CCP as in the past. On February 13th, Friday, Japan's fisheries agency announced the detention of a Chinese fishing vessel suspected of violating the fisheries sovereignty law in Japan's exclusive economic zone off Nagasaki Prefecture. In its statement, the fisheries agency indicated that around noon on Thursday, Japanese officials discovered this Chinese trawler equipped with fishing nets entering Japan's exclusive economic zone in the East China Sea, ordered it to stop for inspection, but the vessel refused to comply and fled. Subsequently, authorities detained the fishing vessel carrying 11 crew members, including the captain, and the captain has been detained. This incident occurred in the waters near the Goto Islands in Nagasaki Prefecture and marks Japan's first detention of a Chinese fishing vessel since 2022. Japanese authorities stated that the detained Chinese fishing vessel from Thursday has been treated as evidence and will be transferred to Nagasaki port. Immigration officials will decide on the disposition of the 10 crew members on board. Due to the historic victory of the Liberal Democratic Party, led by Sanai Takaichi in Japan's House of Representatives election, this detention action is also seen as the Japanese government acting with greater confidence under public support. On Friday, Japanese government spokesperson Minoru Kihara and Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries Ken Suzuki both commented on the incident. At a press conference, Minoru Kihara stated that to prevent and deter illegal operations by foreign fishing vessels, enforcement actions will continue with a resolute attitude in the future. After the cabinet meeting press conference, Ken Suzuki also pointed out that regarding illegal operations by foreign fishing vessels, we will continue to take a firm stance in enforcement to achieve a deterrent effect. Regarding whether the Chinese fishing vessel involved purposes beyond illegal fishing, as well as whether protests were lodged with the Chinese side or demands made to prevent recurrence, Suzuki only said the investigation is still ongoing and provided no further details. According to Japan's Sankei Shimbun, the detained Chinese fishing vessel is the Kingtanju 1998, employing the tiger net fishing method, which is seen as causing depletion of fishery resources using fine mesh tiger nets that catch even juvenile and small fish indiscriminately, known as the vacuum cleaner of the sea. This is the first case of foreign fishing vessel detention by the fisheries agency this year, and the first detention of a Chinese fishing vessel since 2022. Over the past 10 years, the total number of foreign fishing vessel detentions has been 24 cases, with the majority being South Korean vessels at 15, followed by Chinese vessels at 6, Taiwanese vessels at 2, and Russian vessels at 1. On Friday, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson called on Japan to respect the rights of the detained fishing vessel crew members. CCP official media criticizes Sanai Takaichi's security policy, highlighting the CCP's militarism. Just as Sino-Japanese relations remain in a tense deadlock, on February 13th, the CCTV-affiliated self-media, Yuen Tantian, published an article claiming, after review, that Japanese Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi's security policy constitutes a tightly interconnected war origin roadmap. The CCP authorities previously responded that the Japanese election reflects some deep-seated structural issues as well as ideological trends, directions, and tendencies. Yuen Tantian believes that Beijing's evaluation of the Japanese election is extremely unusual, and this rare evaluation is an extremely severe warning. The article categorizes Takaichi's cabinet security policy into 3 levels. The first level is the practical aspect, mainly manifested in the gradual erosion of the 3 security documents, intending to achieve a qualitative change in Japan's offensive military capabilities through specific equipment and operational realities. The second level is the nominal aspect, seeking legalization of military expansion through promoting constitutional revision, providing an institutional foundation for the shift in security policy. For the third level, the article claims it is the most realistic nuclear ambition. It points out that Japan is using the introduction of nuclear-powered submarines as an entry point to gradually realize the military application of nuclear capabilities, with the next step possibly accumulating technical and political foundations for ultimately moving toward possessing nuclear weapons and independently producing them. Yuen Tantian concludes that this roadmap, from bottom-level capability accumulation, top-level power liberalization, to strategic trump card breakthroughs, is tightly interconnected to build a war system, ultimately pointing in only one direction, completely breaking free from the constraints of the post-war international order, enabling Japan to regain external strike capabilities, and even the ability to provoke regional or even global wars. This is the CCP's bully mentality viciously slandering Japan's impending move toward becoming a normal country. Indo-Pacific Strategy think tank executive director Akio Yaida pointed out that Sanai Takaichi is a thorough pacifist, and Japan's strengthening of national defense is to assist the United States in defending the democratic camp, not to initiate aggression. Akio Yaida said that for 80 years after the war, Japan has always adhered to international norms and is recognized by the international community as an excellent student. Facing the threat from the expansionist power of the CCP, if Japan restores its military capabilities, it will be a helper to Taiwan and a healthy force defending international democracy and freedom. Beijing's desperate efforts to portray Sanai Takaichi as a militarist figure are purely malicious smears. The true militarist, constantly seeking to provoke a Taiwan Strait war or even dominate the world, is none other than the CCP. Taiwan Professors Association Secretary General Su Wen-tang bluntly stated that the CCP's definition of militarism is extremely absurd. Japan's current defense budget is restricted by treaty and can only strive to reach 2% of GDP. In contrast, the CCP's military spending growth is exponential, possessing the world's largest naval fleet and hundreds of submarines. A militarist country accusing a defense budget-restricted country of being militarist is truly a joke. The U.S. military and security developments involving the People's Republic of China report released at the end of 2024 points out that CCP leaders view themselves as a major power with global security interests, continuously building strategic deterrence and global military power projection capabilities. The rocket force is the mainstay of the CCP's long-range precision strike capabilities, possessing conventional and nuclear warhead missiles covering various ranges. As of mid-2024, the CCP possesses approximately over 600 nuclear warheads, an increase of 100 from 2023. If this growth rate continues, by 2030, it will deploy over 1,000 nuclear warheads, with further increases by 2035. In China, people often see the sky streaked by fighter jets. Every exercise and military drill is accompanied by roaring thunder. Yet under the same sky, more families are bowing their heads, calculating whether next month's living expenses can last. The CCP pours economic resources into weapons and equipment, telling the people this is security and glory. But true security is allowing parents not to worry that a child's illness will bankrupt the family. True glory is allowing young people not to fret over where their future lies. Missile formations, warships launched, grand displays time and again, all backed by billions in funding. This money could instead fund more grassroots hospitals, fairer educational resources, and more stable social security. Even more ironic is that in recent years, high-ranking CCP generals have fallen like dumplings, with constant reports of military corruption. Even the highest military leader Zhang Youxia has been toppled. This allows the people to see through that the CCP's expensive weapons not only fail to bring security, but instead reveal the corruption and imbalance of power struggles within the CCP. Cross-strait comparison highlights Taiwan's value. The CCP engages in militarism, single-mindedly aiming to seize Taiwan. Here is a comparison. Mainland China claims 9.6 million square kilometers, while Taiwan's land area is 36,000 square kilometers. Yet on this small island are gathered an extraordinary number of world-class companies. Swedish journalist George Olsen recently shared a Taiwan enterprise map on X, showing that in addition to TSMC, Taiwan's tech companies include UMC, MediaTek, Quanta, Mitac, Hanhai, Acer, Gigabyte, Adata, and more, demonstrating Taiwan's important position in global-related industries. Additionally, the map includes well-known companies in various fields such as Fubon, Far Eastone, Evergreen, Sumpentown, Giant, and even renowned chain food brands like 85 Degrees Celsius, Chun Shui Tang, and 50 Lon, 64 enterprises in total. Olsen marveled, "It's astonishing that so many world-class enterprises are gathered on this small island." He noted, not only leading global semiconductor and electronics manufacturers, but also several excellent aviation companies, and of course those top bicycle factories. In the comments below the post, netizens remarked, "In the era of artificial intelligence, Taiwan can almost be seen as the center of the world. Countries around the world should unite to defend Taiwan. This has a lot to do with the people and culture here. Taiwan should quickly break free from CCP thug control. This is why China will stop at nothing to seize Taiwan." Although mainland China has well-known enterprises like Huawei, BYD, Fel, Alibaba, Tencent, Xiaomi, and Baidu, Huawei is backed by the CCP military and is synonymous with CCP technological infiltration. With a very poor reputation, Alibaba and Baidu's reputations are hardly better. On Friday, February 13th, the U.S. government released a new list of Chinese companies assisting the CCP military, with well-known firms like Alibaba and Baidu once again listed, along with Chinese automaker BYD, Tencent, and battery manufacturer CATL prominently featured. Although Xiaomi is not on the list, Xiaomi vehicles have been involved in multiple spontaneous combustion fatal accidents. Thus, compared to Taiwan's reputable world-class companies like TSMC, enterprises like Huawei, BYD, and CATL are merely appendages of the CCP, not trustworthy by the world. This contrast reveals Taiwan's value, which is why people urgently call out. In the era of artificial intelligence, Taiwan can almost be seen as the center of the world. Countries around the world should unite to defend Taiwan. Precisely because the militaristic CCP, making people worry whether next month's living expenses can last, is now staring intently at Taiwan with blood-red demonic eyes. U.S. actions. At this moment, the United States has also begun to take action. On Thursday, February 12th, the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, released a new video seeking to recruit intelligence personnel from within the CCP military. This new video depicts a fictional mid-level CCP military officer entering an office and listening to a briefing. Narrated in Mandarin, the officer looks at a photo of his daughter and says inwardly, "This is the world I know." Yet day after day, the truth becomes increasingly clear. What the leaders truly protect is only their own private interests. Their power is built on countless lies. But now, these walls of lies are gradually collapsing, leaving us to clean up the aftermath. The scene then shifts to his home, showing the officer's daughter and wife. The officer says, "I cannot let these madmen shape the world my daughter will face in the future." The footage shows the officer driving through a checkpoint in the rain, then using a laptop to transmit intelligence, saying, "I am a soldier. My duty is to defend the people and protect the motherland. Choosing this path is my way of fighting for family and country." The video concludes with the CIA logo, with the narration implying that the best way to serve the country is to assist U.S. intelligence agencies in gathering secrets. In the video description, the CIA directly appealed in Chinese. Do you have information about high-level CCP leaders or the military? Please contact us. It provided secure contact methods via the dark web, Tor. A CIA official stated that the U.S. faces a generational challenge with the CCP, which is also one of the most important intelligence targets. Despite the CCP blocking platforms like YouTube, these videos can still spread, and the campaign is proving effective. The CIA's recent full Mandarin video publicly recruiting CCP military officers as U.S. informants directly hits the sore point of Xi Jinping's military purges, enraging Beijing. On Friday, February 13th, CCP Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian angrily denounced it as infiltration and sabotage by foreign anti-China forces and vowed that China would take all necessary measures for resolute countermeasures. According to AFP, although Lin Jian did not specify details of the countermeasures, Beijing's strong response to the CIA's online propaganda war shows that the video has touched a sensitive nerve of the CCP authorities. The reason Beijing is so agitated is that this approximately 1-minute 34-second video carries strong emotional impact, striking the most tender family chord in soldiers' hearts. The timing of this U.S. intelligence operation coincides precisely with the intense turmoil within the CCP military. In January this year, Central Military Commission Vice Chairman Zhang Youxia and CMC member Liu Zhenli were just purged by CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping on grounds of serious violations of discipline and law, the highest-level military rectification in decades. The CIA's release of a recruitment video targeting military personnel at this moment has an obvious intent. Reuters analysis indicates that the U.S. is attempting to exploit the panic and dissatisfaction caused by the CCP's anti-corruption campaign in the military to absorb officers who fear purge or are disillusioned with the system. Between 2010 and 2012, Beijing authorities killed or imprisoned numerous U.S. informants, severely weakening CIA influence. Since then, the CIA has heavily invested in countering the CCP and rebuilding its spy network in China. Under President Trump's second term, the CIA's intelligence offensive against the CCP has become more overt. Director John Ratcliffe confirmed that these videos are part of the CIA's adjustment of espionage methods to break through the CCP's information blockade. Although Beijing maintains strict internet censorship, U.S. officials revealed that such videos are circulating in China via VPNs and have successfully inspired potential intelligence sources. On February 10th, CCP leader Xi Jinping, in a video addressing the military, unusually demanded that all military units maintain specified alert status and promptly and effectively handle various possible emergencies. Could it be that Xi Jinping also senses something?